Okay, so this is my second prototype. It's based on the concept of a screw that, once you put the meat into this hopper, basically the screw gets smaller and smaller, and it's sort of, the screw action is lifting it, towards the front of the barrel. Basically built this mechanism. I took this part from a meat grinder. That was the only way that I could find a component like that. Otherwise making one would be very challenging. And, the rest of this I built out of PVC components, and, this little hopper I made from some scrap material that I had lying around. So, the idea will eventually be that I, add a motor to the back end here. I probably have, a piece of PVC pipe that would actually house the motor. It should fit right on the inside diameter of this PVC. That would house the motor, and then have a simple switch. And the motor is geared to provide about 40 inch ounces of torque. The rest of the body of this is made out of PVC components. I didn't have any hot glue, so this is very much, in place. And I'm unable to really, take anything apart except for, the front end of this, which is, screwed on so that it can be cleaned easily. So I was gonna just give it a shot here, take a little bit of this lunch meat, which my dog loves, drop it right in to this hopper, which would probably, have a lid. And then again, I would have a motor here that would provide the rotational force normally. So I'm gonna rotate it, and, let's see if you kind of see it's actually taking that turkey and putting it right down the front. Okay, so basically I had a little bit of a fit up issue. It wasn't quite tight enough, but as you can see, just rotating this will, as expected, push the meat towards the front. Now the next real question that I have is, how do I make it so that I end up with this like a trap door or something that will basically hold the meat here and allow it to kind of fill a space or a cavity so that I can eject it or push a button or something like that to but the delivery mechanism on this device is not nearly as good as my first option. So that's going to be one of the downsides of this type of mechanism. But I really like the ability to be able to add a motor and add a little bit of complexity, make it a little more interesting than the more simple handheld device. So my first prototype is much simpler. It consists of this ratcheting mechanism that you get with most caulk guns. And basically the way that this caulk gun is arranged is you can actually take it apart, and I basically was able to screw this component on. And as you can see, it does get a little bit of turkey and meat kind of stuck behind it, but it's easy to clean. And once you take, you basically can load the meat straight into the tube and easily just screw it on and unscrew it if necessary and take it apart to clean it. Throw it in the dishwasher. It's actually quite simple. You can retract it all the way. The way this mechanism works is you actually turn it upside down, and that's when the ratcheting mechanism takes place. And this thing really has a lot of leverage. Okay, Lainey, sit. Good girl. Come. Hey. Look. Sit. Lay. Lay. Lay down. Lay down. Good girl. All right.